Hey guys, back again, episode number 4, Zero Carb Carnivore video log. And this is actually a continuation of the previous video, another question that was asked to me from a YouTuber that came across my videos. Thanks for asking these questions. This particular question happens to be on scales, scale obsession, and weighing yourself when losing weight. But it's also applicable to those who obsess about the scale, whether you're losing weight, whether you are dealing with anorexia or bulimia or in maintenance and trying to gain muscle or whatever your case is. The scale, and according to some professionals, it can be classified as an addiction. I don't agree with that. I believe it's a compulsive behavior, and I have lived it. I can talk about this for quite some time. I'll spare you on it. I'll just give a brief overview of what I went through. It's getting dark out now. It's going on 8 o'clock, and the lighting is real crap. I'm not real set up for professional. This isn't a studio, right? This is my spare room in my place. So I'll begin with before I even learned of low carbing. Back when I was yo-yo dieting, eating the low calorie, low fat routine, just on every diet imaginable. And I was absolutely obsessed with the scale. I'd be on it first thing in the morning, before I went to bed, and several times throughout the day. And let me tell you, if I got on the scale in the morning and I was a half a pound heavier than I was the day before, when I know I quote unquote ate right according to how you should be eating on a low calorie, low fat diet, it rocked my world. My whole day was turned upside down. I was absolutely miserable. You wouldn't want to be around me. You wouldn't want to know me. So you might not want to know me now, but this is the deal, and it's a compulsive behavior, and like other things out there, I don't. Addiction or disease to me doesn't make sense. I think things can be overcome through proper therapy, and I'm a firm believer in cognitive behavioral therapy and rational behavioral thinking. And the scale is something that can certainly be overcome, and I did it. I did it, and I gradually slowed down with it until it came to a complete end. But I did go through different phases of that, and I'll get to that. When I first started ZCing, I was in a real terrible place in my life. I was extremely heavy, and I'll be honest with you, when I stepped on my home scale, which was just your typical digital home scale, in big red letters it read error. Could you imagine that? Error. Imagine how that made me feel. I only knew what I weighed because I weighed myself at the doctor's office or at the gym where they have a professional spring type scale with the weight on it that measures over 300 pounds. My scale wouldn't do it. In fact, I'm pretty sure that my scale only went to 300 pounds because when I started losing weight and got on it, I was in the 290s, and that's when it registered. But when I believe the scale is a useful tool, it's that's what it should be used for. And to judge your fat loss, there are so many better ways to go about it. How do you feel? How are your clothes fitting? Use a body fat caliper. Have it done professionally and using the water method. It's a little expensive, but it's precise, and it probably costs you a couple $100. Measuring tape. This is true fat loss. The scale, there's so many different things that can determine what you weigh. Water retention, what you're eating. Not for me, being a ZCer, my weight doesn't fluctuate. It only goes down, and it'll eventually stop. But if you happen to be a low carber, you can go through a phase where you're eating processed foods, or you're eating artificial sweeteners, or fruit, or vegetables, or just something that doesn't agree with you, because everybody's different and everybody responds to different foods differently. So your weight can absolutely fluctuate. It doesn't mean that you're not losing weight. If you're anorexic and you're trying to gain weight, same thing. If you're at weight and you're working out like crazy, you're just looking to gain muscle. Do you know how long it takes to put on 10 pounds of muscle? That's not an easy task. And believe me, the guys and the women that do it, it takes a year to put on 10 pounds worth of pure lean muscle. I'm not talking about fat, because you know what? If you're working out and you're eating a bodybuilder's type diet, which would be a 40-40-20, 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, 20% fat, and you are gaining weight, sure, you're getting bigger, but you're putting on fat also. That's not pure lean muscle. So don't don't be mistaken by that. The scale, getting back to the scale, I went through a massive obsession with it, like I said, and when I started ZCing, I was losing weight so rapidly that it was a blast to get on it. And what happened was eventually it started petering out, and I didn't lose as much as I was at the beginning, obviously, because I didn't have as much to lose. And the scale started slowing down, and I started getting frustrated, and I went back into weighing myself a couple of times a day. And one day I got fed up, and I took my scale, it went into the garbage, went out to the curb, garbage man took it, went to the landfill, got buried forever. I no longer saw it. I eventually did get another one, and because I do use it as a tool, I think it's a fine tool, but that's it. That's the extent of it. Don't obsess over it. Don't look at it as an addiction. Look at it as a compulsive behavior that you can overcome. And it's just like when you gain your weight, right? You gained your weight because of obsessive compulsive eating. That's the reason. I mean, barring any physical ailments that would cause a person to lose weight, I'm not going to get into the medical end of it, but for the majority of the people that gain weight, you know, it didn't happen by eating right. It happened by overeating and eating wrong. So again, an compulsive behavior that can be overcome, and you can do it just by putting rational thought into it. Is what I'm doing beneficial to me? Is it beneficial to me right now? Is it beneficial to me in the long term? I mean, there's books on this stuff. Educate yourself on it. Don't be obsessive with the scale. It just becomes absolute madness, and we deserve better than that. So now I bought another scale because I'm on, you know, I do ZC, and I consistently lose a couple pounds a week, and I'm monitoring where I'm at with that. You know, I'm not perfect, and perhaps I'm even wrong in even owning this thing, because I'm going to get down to my natural weight, and it's going to be what it's going to be, and I don't care if it's, you know, I have whatever, 15, 13, 15, 18, 20 pounds to go. I'll get there. By fall, I'll be there. And it is what it is. I'm not going to determine my self-worth by what a number on a scale says. How do my clothes fit? How do I feel? You know, what is my body fat percentage? And even that doesn't really matter to me, because when you're eating zero carb, your body percentage will get down so low. As a man, you'll get down to, I believe it's about 11% body fat, which is really lean. Females a little bit higher, about 15, 16%. I think it might even, the range might even be 15 to 18%. That's lean for a female. Now, we're not talking about bodybuilding competitions where they get down into a low single-digit body fat percentage. And you know what? That's unhealthy. Those people are starving themselves and potentially doing irreparable damage to their metabolism, and it's nothing that can be sustained for too long. And if you ever watch any interviews after the competition, and they ask, well, what are you going to do now? You're going to go pig out, all right? Because they just ate 400 grams a day of chicken breast for the past few months while they're working out 10 hours a day in the gym, and they're starving to death. So forget about the scale. That's my advice. Don't obsess over it. Use it as a tool if you use it at all. You'll be a lot better off in the long run. And how much more can I say about a scale? But I've lived it, man. So I know what it's about, and it's a dark world. So no reason to go there. Just eat right. You'll get there. Be persistent. You know, perseverance and tenacity is what is success. That's the key to success. So keep doing what you're doing. We all deserve it. So that is all. Until next time, I'll have another topic. I just want to make this quick. Not really that quick. I went 10 minutes. It's 8 o'clock. I am hungry. I have a ribeye defrosted waiting to hit my grill. I'm going to go cook that up. 3 minutes aside, just on the medium rare, just the way I like it. Ton of fat on it. So I'm going to go dig on that and enjoy it and relax for the evening. Tomorrow's another day. All right. Be well, folks. Ciao.